Hey everybody, this is Mark from Faith on Tap. Today's a fun one. Make sure you play along. Do you have a song that is your theme song right now? It hits all those points in your life and the lyrics just resonate. We talked with a few folks and yes, they had such songs. And we talk about our own songs, our favorite secular and sacred ones. Some contemporary worship songs may seem less directly focused on God, but in actuality, they're proclaiming something.
Well, I hear what you're saying about the self-focused worship songs, but I think we have to take in mind, too, there are songs that completely focus on God, His goodness, His love, but there's also songs of proclamation. I was here, look what you did for me, God. And the Psalms show that, too.
Yeah.
David's always in the Psalms. The Psalms are very personal. And God, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? But you are glorious, but you are good.
Right.
So I think there's the genre of proclaiming the goodness of God, proclaiming what He's done. And as far as that song, again, I see it as a proclamation. Have I seen cancer disappear? Yes.
And some worship songs can become very personal. Take Dennis's, for instance.
There's one, it's an old Third Day song. It's called Your Love, O Lord.
Mm-hmm.
The simple lyric in the verse is, I will lift my voice to worship you, my King. I lost my voice a few years ago, and I've been feverishly, systematically trying to reestablish it. And I hope that one day I'll be able to sing that song during worship and actually lift my voice to worship Him.
We also dig in deep on why music does this to us, and we start with beauty.
Music is biblical. The angels have been worshiping God. I don't know if they sing, I don't know if they recite, but there is when you think of beauty, I think all beauty, the sunset, the excellent piece of music, the newborn baby, all those things we find beautiful from a dare I say, spiritual or emotional level, not a biological level. I think they all, in some way, shape, or form, reflect back to the beauty of God. And so that's what actually makes it beautiful.
So listen, check out the links in the show notes for our music choices and enjoy the songs of your life. Let's go. We are back at Woodbury Brewery. Had a very nice, they didn't have any stouts because no one has stouts at breweries in the spring and summer. They all have IPAs and sour. So I did get a brown ale that was actually very good. Black Betty. For a brown ale, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. For all beers, I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. Liz, you gave up on even the beer thing. You went with your typical.
Yeah, there was nothing in the world of beer. I mean, I tried the brown ale, and as far as beer, it was good, but it still had that whole beer thing going on. So I'm like, yeah, I want to be happy. So I went with the cider, which is actually quite nice. I think it tastes more natural.
And you want to be happy,
ciders.
And this is what, number 7 on your ciders?
Yeah, well, 9.
She is happy.
Very, very happy.
And Dennis, what IPA was this one?
Well, being a pastor and trying to maintain biblical integrity, I went with the Exodus.
Is that why you went with the other IPAs that were Sassy Frassy or what the other names
No,
were?
that was the Yummy Beer. Or
Yummy Beer.
I couldn't do that one. I had to do something redemptive.
And how
very
was
good,
it?
crisp, clean. It's a hazy IPA, but it's a clean one. I like it. I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
We are asking the question tonight about music. I'm excited about this. What song do you think of that would be an inspirational song to you or would be a theme song for your season in your life right now? So what are you expecting, Liz?
People are going to really struggle with this one. Most people don't have a song top of mind.
I personally think a number of people will have songs in their mind. It might not be deep philosophical songs. They might be like Witchy Woman or Desperado, but
Or The Pusher.
yeah. What are you expecting, Dennis?
I think I'm with Liz. I don't think people have, they don't nitpick a song apart. I don't think they listen to the lyric. They listen to the beat.
No, but that's fine. But there'll be some song that they'll like the lyrics of. I think we might not get depth, but I think we'll get songs.
All right, let's see.
You're saying no? All right, well, this will be fun.
Yeah, this could work out.
Or it might be a total failure. Let's find out. So, what's your name?
Kevin.
Kevin. Nice meeting you here. What are you drinking, by the way?
I'm drinking sour mango.
You're going with
I
the
don't know
sour.
the actual name.
All right, that's okay. This is a question. Well, you get to hear, so you get the time to process a little bit. But here's the first question: what's a song that you can, at your time, your season in life, that is either a theme song or an inspirational song or something that you kind of like you need at that moment? Can you think of anything?
Regulators. It's a sports, for me, it's a sports song. So I
Why?
use it before sporting events because all you guys get together and they regulate the situation.
Regulate the situation, not like umpiring or refereeing.
No, it's semi-violent, this song, I guess.
Yeah.
It's you're
So-
in trouble, all your guys show up.
Is that an inspiration or a theme?
Inspiration,
Because
because it gets me fired up.
for what? Fired up for what?
sports. I'm a sports guy.
So,
So
are
it gets me in the
participating in
Yeah,
sport?
in participating.
So all right. So what sport in particular?
Football.
So it fires you up to play, and it does it work?
Yes.
And does it work every time?
Yes.
Does it work at any time not football? Would you use it any other time in your life?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay.
I listen if it's on. I listen to. I love it. But yes,
Okay. But you
I don't know if it inspires me after
now.
outside of
Do
sport.
you play that with other people or just yourself?
Just myself.
And so it works for you, and you do it because of football position you play.
This is when I played. I don't
Oh,
play
okay.
multiple positions.
So now you're listening to music for
No.
memories.
No, yeah, it's just random music. I don't have a genre. It's just a random
Yeah, but
mood.
but it would still get you in the mood.
Oh yeah,
today.
if it came on, it would
Okay,
make
all
me.
right.
It would
I
make me.
got
smile.
you.
It takes me back to the past.
Okay, I
Yes,
like that. I like
it
that.
brings me back.
All right, that's good.
My name's Dennis. Your names are
Kate and
Zach.
Kate and Zach. Good to meet you guys. Is there a song right now for you that kind of represents your life, what you're going through, this season that you're in right now? And if there is, what is that song and why?
that's a thinker. That's a hard answer.
I mean, the fun answer is, what's the song with cockles and mussels and yeah, there you go.
Molly
That's-
Malone?
Yep, there you go. That's it.
We own a fish market, so
Oh,
that's
do you really?
Yes, and this is the busiest time of the year for me right now. So.
cockles
Oh,
and mussels
man.
alive-o.
Yep, there you go.
All right, so that's where you're at,
right
huh?
now, yes.
And what seafood place do you own?
It's called To the Gills in Watertown.
Did you hear that, folks? To the Gills in Watertown. Go check them out. Did you know the name of that song?
I think it's Molly Malone.
Molly- all
It's
right.
like an old British sea.
I know the song,
right?
but
Yeah, I think that's the title.
all right, so that's yours.
My cheese shop is called New Curds on the Block, so I think my song would have to be a New Kids song. It seems only fair.
Where is the? It's a cheese shop. What is? Explain that to me, please.
So we sell American cheeses, all local cheese. I source from all over the country, or rather all over the
Really?
region and all over the country. And we share our shop together. We're
Yeah.
a married couple and we have fish and cheese.
Fish and cheese. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
Wow. What was your song again?
I don't know. Probably something by New Kids on the Block.
New Kids on the Block. Because
I'm New Curds on the Block.
so plug your store. Where are you? New Curds.
New Curds on the Block, American cheese shop, sourcing cheeses from all over
What town?
New England. We're in Oakville, Connecticut.
Oakville, Connecticut. Go check them out. Do you have a song from New Kids on the Block? Like, I don't even.
I mean, she's a bit of a poser sometimes. She's like, I don't know them that well.
Oh,
She's waiting-
my
I am a
goodness.
poser.
Just waiting for the cease and desist from Donnie.
Before I commit to anything
Yeah.
concrete.
Liz, what's the story?
Oh, it's the usual. I'm plotting world domination one seltzer at a time.
How's it working out?
I love seltzer.
She burped.
It might take a while. Those joyful sounds were from the Jester of Joy.
I'll take that.
Oh, that was
I
quick.
need some joy. I need some gesturing. I'll take that.
And you got it. So that was Dennis, the Jester of Joy.
Jester of Joy.
Hopefully we have a joyous talk about what we just went through with our guest at the brewery. But the question was basically, what song would you identify that, say, described your current season that you're in, or perhaps what's your theme song? With going in, we kind of knew that's kind of a hard one to just spring on people.
Yep.
So I definitely give people slack on that one. I talked to Kevin. He was a football player, and what pumped him up for the games was a song called Regulate. It was something deep. He hasn't played ball in a while. When he hears it, he still gets that feeling. He still gets pumped. So it's like an inspirational song to him. It's very near and dear to him. It brings back memories, I'm sure, etc. What about you, Dennis?
It was a difficult topic for people just to come up with a song. And so Zach runs a fish market. And so his song was Sweet Molly Malone because it has cuckles and mussels, however that song goes. And then for Katie, the name of her cheese factory has to do with back curd cheese or something.
New curd.
New curd
on the block.
New curd. I'm sorry, Katie. New curds on the block. And so she decided Backstreet Boys was
New Kids on the Block.
Right, that too. So I wasn't. When were they famous?
Did you listen to your guest at all?
I did, but boy bands confuse me and they aggravate me.
I don't know the difference between the two myself, but
there was no it was just a question, like you said, that people weren't ready for.
Yeah, if they had more time, I'm sure they would get a more poignant response. Liz, although we lost the recording, do you recall?
Alex, I did not identify the song that she named, but it was so fast off her lips, and she just was shining. It was the song that she used for her wedding, which had only happened a few months ago. She shared some, and I really wish I knew what the song was because I really wanted to listen to it.
Well, I guess the important point is what was important to her?
It was important to her because there was lines in the song that resonated with how she felt about her new life, her husband, and her two kids. And she was constantly, every day, thinking about that song and how it reflected how she felt about her new family. And it was really sweet. Right. She just felt really blessed having it. It was beautiful.
That's neat. Yeah, so there's a great connection right there. And I know as a teacher, you always try to hook people, the students, into a topic. When I teach physics, it's obviously very easy. I can do 1,000 different hands-on things to show them to connect. But when I get to sound and music, I just talk about music and apply physics to it. The whole room just lights up because everyone has some connection with some music. But music does hit people in a lot of different ways. And there's been studies that show that music can bypass a certain walls and filters that you put in your brain. And they can actually seep into the emotions, the memories, the pattern recognition. It activates multiple brain things and prefrontal cortex. It works with the prefrontal cortex. So music to me is very special because if I heard someone say something just in word form, I'm going to dismiss it if it doesn't mean much to me. But if it's in music form, it's going to slip in and it'll resonate. And I think that's probably why I really enjoy lyrics, even when I was in high school growing up. I mean, it's also a danger, too, because you can slip stuff in that might not be that great. I've known parents that let their kids sing a WAP song. It's like, don't do that.
We were at a store yesterday and they were playing the worst possible music.
They were, yes.
And there's this young mom and she's got like an 18-month-old child in her arms and she's just bouncing the kid, all excited about listening to the music. And the lyrics were, "Are there any whores in the house?"
Oh my God.
And she's bouncing the baby with the song. And I'm like, oh my. Oh my.
Was there any resolution that they did have count?
I just hope it wasn't either of them.
Okay. Yeah, we're not sure of the number, so it was an unanswered question. But it's sad. But on a personal note, that's why worship is really important to me because if someone's talking to me about religion, I'm going to have the walls. No, I don't believe that. Not accepting that. Yeah, God's great. But I just have these barriers put up. But why lyrics are so important. Like when I was growing up, I listened to Jackson Browne, and I have a pastor friend who also listened to Jackson Browne, and he said, "Oh, my favorite Jackson Browne song is Rosie." And I go, "Pastor," I said, "Jester of Joy." I mean, Pastor. I said, "Do you know what that song's about?" I won't go into details, but he didn't.
Not what I expected.
It's also why I am very cynical of many worship songs. In my opinion, many mainstream church music. This gets the stuff off K-Love, where the target audience is millennial women. Millennial women like focusing on their emotions. And so what happens is, if you have a worship leader that's a millennial woman, you're going to pick out songs that are more emotional, and they're going to be things related to me. And again, these aren't bad people. These people love the Lord. I've been to several churches with female worship leaders, and they're great worship people. They love, but they're focusing on, God did this for me. I feel this way for me. I really enjoy music focusing on God, worshiping God. These days, a song written by Jackson Browne. He was 17 when he wrote it. And it's like, it's reflecting on life. It's like, stop singing that. You should not be singing it at 17. Then Greg Allman sings it, and his blues rock voice, he just destroys the song. It's fantastic. When non-Christians sing Christian songs, like Christmas carols, like "Oh Holy Night," it's like, really? To me, it just loses all oomph. So if the singer's not believing what they're saying, like there's a song, and Brendan Lake, great person, loves the Lord. He's making headways into mainstream areas. I love him. And he has songs, like there's one song, "Too Good to Not Believe," which is a very personal song to him, and it connects with him. But if you're singing that in worship, have you really seen mental place dissolve, mental health restored, cancer disappear, real life resurrection? If you have, then sing that with the gusto. That's great. But how many people actually have sung it? So if you haven't experienced and you're singing it, I don't know. These are the things that just bother me, and that's why I like focusing on music about Jesus anyways. So that's my soapbox. Do you have a soapbox of music you want to talk about, anyone?
Well, I hear what you're saying about the self-focused worship songs, but I think we have to take in mind, too, there are songs that completely focus on God, His goodness, His love, but there's also songs of proclamation. I was here, look what you did for me, God. And the Psalms show that too.
Yeah.
David's always in the Psalms. The Psalms are very personal. And God, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? But you are glorious, but you are good.
Right.
But so I think there's the genre of proclaiming the goodness of God, proclaiming what He's done. And as far as that song, again, I see it as a proclamation. Have I seen cancer disappear? Yes.
Well, you have. Then you should be singing that song.
Have I seen a real life resurrection? No, but I've spoken with very credible people that claim they have.
I'm not just picking that one particular song. It's just how much, when you're singing it, and there's a reason to proclaim what God has done for you. But
which is
80 to 100% of the songs, it gets old after a while, in my opinion.
It can, and I think that's that's the genre that we're going in. I mean, you can go back to even the Vineyard days. It's always kind of been a
Well, Vineyard would be more of a self-absorbed,
and all those songs.
Praise.
And
my pet peeve for Christian music is something that it just sounds good, but it has no biblical foundation. It's like, I'm not really sure your praise is a weapon. I don't know that that's actually in scripture.
Yeah.
And so that comes around and I'm getting a drink of water.
Yeah.
The rest of the song is amazing. I just can't really sing.
Well, your praise is a weapon because evil or demonic can't stand where there's praise of the Lord.
I know there are ways to walk around it, but I'm just saying it's a little awkward.
You can probably pick apart every song.
I know, but I probably start sounding like, wow, she's so Baptist. Does she use instruments?
No dancing.
No dancing. Yeah. So I'm just saying that I do like songs that have a scriptural foundation.
Yeah. Like when you hear an old hymn and then you hear a current current praise song that says the same thing 3,000 times.
Yeah.
That aggravates me.
My pastor makes us have our own worship music, and so I do, because my eyes don't see as well, I have to put it in 42 font or whatever. But there's one chorus that we have to do that it just goes on and just repeats, it's a skip. We'll get to that. And so I just wrote repeat 800 times.
But there's a number of them.
There's a couple. And I shared that with the other worship singer, and she thought that was funny. And then she decided to only make it repeat 3 times after I showed him.
That's a start.
And I hope we get one less twice.
Well, so I told them, the people who are with me, the gesture of joke or joy,
Joy.
and Liz, I told them to, I'm going to be asking questions, but what's a secular song, a Christian song, etc., that connects with your season or your theme of your life? So, anyone want to start?
Well, mine right now is both secular and Christian. And it is the Greg Allman's rendition of Will the Circle Be Unbroken. Lost my mom a couple weeks ago. When they were taking her out of her apartment on the stretcher, she was already passed. That song just played in my mind because it's exactly what was happening. And so that's resonating with me right now in this particular season. Yeah, Greg Allman, you can't.
You have to feel the pain of that song.
And Greg Allman does a great job.
He just makes you like, you feel every ache.
It's grief.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
How about you,
So,
Liz? Secular song.
For the secular song, I don't listen to all that much secular music with a great deal of attention.
Yeah, I know.
But so I had to go throwback for a few years ago when I was really into the song by the Avett Brothers, Head Full of Doubt. So the Avett Brothers' Head Full of Doubt is just like so deep, and it just feels like, talking about someone who's like on this lonely journey, just trying to figure stuff out. It's heartbreaking and beautiful and hopeful all at once. And it's just, it's a very beautiful, cool song.
You have a lyric in there?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, there was a dream, and one day I could see it. Like a bird in a cage, I broke in and demanded that somebody free it. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole song has that. And it's also gorgeous to listen to. And the video's cool.
Yeah, we saw him at concert 3 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
And every time I'm like, I cannot wait for that song. It's so great. So yeah, definitely that's top of mind.
My secular song, which Liz stole from me, was from the Avett Brothers, and it's called No Hard Feelings. And I guess my season that I am in right now, I am kind of like in the legacy part of my life where I'm starting to think more about what I'm going to be leaving behind. Not that I'm planning on going anywhere anytime soon, but I start thinking more and more about that. So in the song No Hard Feelings, he basically is at, when he dies, what's going to happen with him? There's a phrase where he says, when my body won't hold me up anymore and it finally lets me free, where will I go? Will the trade winds take me south through Georgia grain or tropical rain or snow from the heaven? Will I join with the ocean blue or run into a savior true and shaking hands, laughing and walking through the night straight to the light, holding the one I've loved in my life and no hard feelings? The idea like when you meet God, what are you going to do? Are you going to, it sounds like another worship song, but are you going to be fall on your knees? Are you going to be laughing, walking hands? It's a great thought, and it's great to feel, to get in that spot that you don't know which one, because both would be incredible. But I think about that often. But yeah, that's from, it's called No Hard Feelings. So Christian song, worship song, you don't want to have anything to ask?
No, I could, there's one, it's an old Third Day song. It's called Your Love, O Lord.
Mm-hmm.
The simple lyric in the verse is, I will lift my voice to worship you, my King. I lost my voice a few years ago, and I've been feverishly, systematically trying to reestablish it. And I hope that one day I'll be able to sing that song during worship and actually lift my voice to worship him.
For me, and we've sung this a couple times at church, but it's just really resonated recently. It's the song, The Goodness of God. It's really beautiful.
It's because she's having another granddaughter. That's why.
There's I don't know if it's the chorus or the bridge. And it says, your goodness is running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. That's really cool. So you can't outrun God. And that's really, we try all the time. So I just like that. He's just like, when you watch a little kid, like a 2-year-old or whatever, and they think that they're running as fast as possible. It's like, no, I can scoop you up right now.
Oh, that's an awesome one. Hard to top that. Since I came up with a question, I'm going to give you a song that no one's heard of before, and then something as common that you'd sing in church. The one that I consider my top 5 songs of all time is a Steve Taylor song called The Finish Line. And he makes a comparison of the Christian walk through like an obstacle race where You start off as a Christian, you're running all your might, things are great, and then life happens, and he talks about that ugliness of life and you backsliding. You don't know God like you used to, but at the end, this is what happens. At the very end, a song called "The Finish Line." He goes, "Every idol like dust, a word scattered them all, and I rose to my feet when you scaled the last wall, and I gasped when I saw you fall in his arms at the finish line." And it's like, every time I hear that, it hits hard. In fact, I wrote to him and told him that. And he wrote back a really nice reply to me on that.
Oh, wow.
That to him, that's his, of all the songs that he wrote, and he wrote for many other groups, Newsboys, et cetera, that's the song that meant the most to him as well. And he said, this is like probably the one song I think I got right. The song I think I just spoke earlier how I do like worship songs. I'd say "Build My Life." The negative about the song, it says the same thing a billion times, 3 times, but I can try to be in a meditative state during that time. And
Meditative or canatonic?
No. I'm into it. I really am when it's sung right. "Holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder and show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me." I mean, that's, first of all, the gospel message. And just to praise him, just flat out just praise him who he is, to me, that's the deepest part of communion with God for me. That really connects. So that's a really strong one to me. Once in a while, we'll sing that at church. But yeah, like that. Enough with that. You can see how emotional we all are with music. And I think that's great. That's I actually wrote this. I'll get this right now because I am doing arguments for God. And in my other life, one of the arguments, which I never gave much credence to until I had a discussion with one of my relatives about this another year ago or so. And then I've been looking at it, and it's really strong. It's the argument of beauty and the idea that why do we see things as beautiful? And not just in a biological sense, you see an attractive woman. So obviously biologically, you're going to want to mate. I'm talking about looking at a beautiful sunset or looking at a piece of art or listening to a wonderful piece of music. That connects with just about everybody. And why that beauty that exists, what's that for? What biological reason would that be for? And without discussing this further, it's really, you can't really think of a good argument. So the beauty of music is a good argument. I was wondering, do you guys think that's a strong argument, or do you see that as a argument?
Well, yeah, I mean, music is biblical. The angels have been worshiping God. I don't know if they sing. I don't know if they recite, but there is when you think of beauty, I think all beauty, the sunset, the excellent piece of music, the newborn baby, all of those things we find beautiful from a dare I say, spiritual or emotional level, not a biological level. I think they all, in some way, shape, or form, reflect back to the beauty of God. And so that's what actually makes it beautiful. I believe it's in Romans where it says, creation is crying out. And also, in the Psalms, it talks about how creation worships God. And so beauty has to be connected to the beauty of God. And so the things that we find inherently beautiful, whether you believe in God or not, are connected back to him. That's kind of my thought on that.
Yeah, I like it.
There is an argument from biology about beauty, but I was listening to a very interesting podcast from a man who became a Christian a few years into he's a brain surgeon, and the more he studied it, the more there was questions that were not being answered. I will link it in the show notes so that you can all hear it yourself. But his argument is that there's part of who we are as humans that is outside of what actually functions in our brain. And I think music and beauty in that sense is transcendent in that way, where animals, they have a version of music, but it's more communication. It's not necessary. It's meant to be. It has more to do with establishing temporary relationships than anything else in the animal kingdom. But we seem to have a truly transcendent, not part of our actual brain function. And so I would have to say music is very soulish. There's this extra dimensional part of, it's not just our brain, it's our mind and our soul. And I think music
totally-
is in there.
Yeah.
Because animals don't do this. They have an appreciation for symmetry and beauty in that way because they're trying to establish a mate that gives them the best options. But I think that might be the end of the story for most animals. There is some evidence of soulish behavior in some animals, but for another time.
Yeah, without getting into the weeds there.
Yeah, I'm going to avoid the weeds, but I'm just saying music seems to transcend. It seems other.
Right. And it's taking you to another level. It's your soul crying out to me.
Yep.
And again, you see a beautiful sunset.
Yep.
You see the nighttime sky going forever. Your mind just goes to eternity. And I don't know how it does. And I think that's one of the little Easter eggs that God left behind for us to focus his attention on him.
Yeah. And, what's Ecclesiastes tell us, that he puts eternity in our hearts. It's not just the Christian, it's humanity. And so we're all kind of drawn to. Somebody once said to me, I know it sounds cliche, but music is what color sounds like. And I thought, all right, sounds funky, but
I like
that
that.
might be able to work.
Hey, and I think that's a great way to end our podcast tonight. Thanks for listening.
Good night.
Thank you.
Tune in next episode when you'll hear Dennis say,
I'd like to be the monarch of morals, but I feel I might be a junior monarch.
Hey, awesome listener. If you're enjoying our podcast, give us a little love, like, share, follow, and snag this episode for later. It's the easiest way to keep the good times rolling and make our day. You're the best. Thank you.